Today, we're talking rear sets. Welcome back to the channel, everybody. Today's video is going to be a little bit different. I'm going to veer away from the Honda and the Kawasaki so I can get on with my buddy's bike that we've been meaning to fix. Also answer a question from one of my subscribers. I believe it's called North Star 5609. He actually sent me a message in the comments not too long ago in regards to rear sets. Apparently he's got some rear sets that he needs to install on his bike. Unfortunately, the rear sets that he bought don't come with instructions, so he doesn't know how to put them together. And I told the guy I got him. So along with what I'm going to talk about today, I went ahead and I typed up 3 of the reasons because I won't remember it. But it's, why would you install rear sets? What are the benefits of rear sets, and what's the purpose of rear sets? So let's go ahead and cover each one of these really quick, and then I'll get on to this bike. So the first question that I would ask is, or that some people would ask, are the most common, are what are the benefits of rear sets? Why install rear sets? And what is the purpose of rear sets on a motorcycle? So let's cover each question. First question, like I said, is what are the benefits of rear sets? Well, the first one says they are often designed to allow some adjustment so that they can be set exactly where the rider wants them to be positioned. The most important reason for having rear sets on a road racing motorcycle is to create optimum positioning of the rider's feet and legs when both sitting on and hanging off the bike. The second most popular question that I was able to see is, what is the purpose of a rear set on a motorcycle? Well, they facilitate a racer's riding position, help distribute the weight evenly along with the motorcycle, and make the motorcycle and rider slip through the air better. Compared to conventional foot pegs, rear sets are placed higher up and toward the rear end of the motorcycle. Alright, so the very last question that I have here says, why install rear sets? You know, I even asked myself the same question, and I wasn't entirely sure until I read this and did a little bit more research on motorcycles. And then I installed them on my SV650. That one, from the very beginning of this channel, it had fixed pegs, and I didn't want those, so I got some rear sets that I can adjust for my ride height, for my own comfortability. Alright, so yes, why install rear sets? Simply because it is increased ground clearance, period. And I'll show you that here in a moment. It says they create a more ground clearance, and as such, allow you to lean the bike more. While this is a good justification for rear sets, the main purpose should be getting yourself stable and comfortable on the bike. Alright, so one of my subscribers, like I said, he goes by North Star 5609. He sent me a message saying, third video and no showing how to actually install them. Shaking my head, just a picture after tightening a couple screws. Well, North Star, I also have you covered with that too. I'm going to have this video, 2 birds, 1 stone kind of thing. And for the rest of the viewers that are on this channel watching this, this is also for you. All right. So I went ahead and I went to FX CNC. It's a Chinese-based company. They produce all kinds of motorcycle parts. And clearly on here, you can even say made in China. Duh. But I know that from ordering from these guys numerous occasions, they are notorious for not putting instructions in these boxes whatsoever. And like North Star, he probably bought something similar to this with no instructions. And Chad, well, he needs to get new rear sets. So we happen to get a brand new set for Chad and make sure that they did not have any instructions, so I can show you guys how to put it all together without instructions. It's quite simple, guys. So let's get started. So here we go, FXCNC Motorsports, opening the box. I'm going to show you guys there is no instructions whatsoever. This is how I got it. We got some fuzz in here. There's no parts. Okay. There's no papers, but he got red to match his bike. Again, you wouldn't even know where these go. Man, these look good. Okay, let's set that over there. That's for the brake. This is for the shifter. This is a shift linkage. This is what Chad lost on his bike going down with 45. That's why you have to tighten them up and make sure that they will not pop off. Open this up. There's no paper, no instructions. And here's the other side. This is going to be for... Is this for the brake? Yeah, this is the brake. That's the shifter. All right. And then another component. And this is just your hardware. And there's nothing here. No instructions, guys. None. So I'm not cheating it. I know where everything goes. Just saying. We're going to put all this stuff in here for right now. And slowly install everything. Okay, so there's no paper, no instructions, proof. This is what they give you at CNC, FXCNC from China. But all these things, they got to go somewhere. You got to figure out where they go. And I'll show you where they go on here. At least I'll do my best. All right, so let's begin. All right, to start on this bike, I'm actually going to start on the brakes side, which would be the right side of the bike. And the rear set is going to be this component right here. Now, if you have regular pegs, they're not going to have, well, these would be considered as regular pegs. These are not rear sets because these here, they're not adjustable in multiple directions, whereas the other side, it's got other locations where you can adjust it. If you can adjust it, that's a rear set. If you cannot, and there's only 2 bolts that hold it in place and you can't move it around. Actually, no, hold on a second. I'm sorry. See this plate right back here? These holes? All these little holes means that you can adjust it. So yes, these are rear sets. But if there are none, then you have just regular standard pegs. Now, I'll show you guys here in this video. What you're seeing is these are floorboards on this Honda Cruiser. These belong to my neighbor as well. He's got 2 bikes. He's rich just like I am. Ain't that right, Chad? No. Don't lie. No. But yeah, these Hondas, well, at least this bike over here, this Cruiser's got what they consider as floorboards. They're not pegs, they're fixed. It's made for a cruiser. They're positioned forward of the rider itself, and it just makes it a much more comfortable ride. This bike, the Honda, is not designed for, you know, taking corners. It's designed for staying upright and cruising long distance.
Scott, can I ask you a question?
Sure.
So on the part, do you have to disconnect this side for the part, or I thought it was this side over here with those things? So what is the demonstration on taking this side?
Well, I'm going to slowly disassemble. I'm going to start on the easiest side because it's facing upright.
So it's actually both sides.
Yeah.
So you have both parts in the box.
Exactly.
Really?
Yeah, I got bolts. No, well, the rear set. They come in a set.
Oh, gotcha.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Yeah. It's a good question though. All right, so I'm gonna pop this off.
I'm trying to learn. You teach me everything.
All right. Well, it looks like they put shims in this one. Why, I do not know.
Right.
Bless you. I've been running into this problem a lot with your bike, brother.
Right.
But our objective is to no longer have that problem. right, I'm gonna try to get through this as quick as I can.
So does it have that brake side on there too, Scott? Could you do this red and leave that chrome, like a mixture? Could you do that?
It's possible, but usually whenever they have rear sets, see, like this one's made by Vortex,
Right.
and this one is not. It's a totally different company. A lot of times they'll actually have different configurations.
Right. So what I
But it's possible. I mean, you might get lucky. Two companies share the same measurements
Right.
for them. You know, it is
What about
possible.
What about the chrome pegs? The chrome peg, will the chrome pegs stay on? They have red pegs.
These can come off. You got to use a Torx in the back
Gotcha.
to break it free, but
Do they have pegs in here?
they sure do. Yeah, right here.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
If you could, I'd love to use the chrome pegs if possible.
See these. This is going to be for your shifter. This is going to be for your brakes. Same length. We can try it. It just depends on how they have it threaded.
I know if anybody can do it, I know you can.
If they're different threads, I'm kind of like at a loss right now.
Right.
But we'll see what we can do.
Discussion.
Let me pop these off. This is your brake master cylinder right here. Your brake reservoir is up here. Master cylinder is right here. And on the back, probably going to be something smaller. Oh no, not that size. Let's try something else. Probably a 10. It's always going to be a 10. Unless it was metric. Get after it, brother. It's not like she watches my channel.
Right.
Watch her watch my channel and be like staring at me at on the couch. Be like, really, Scott? All right, so what I'm doing right now is I am taking off the brake master cylinder. It's very possible that I might have to reuse this. Don't lose it. Kind of isolate all your stuff so you know where they came from and what's what. Okay, this one will work fine. I'm using Allen wrench, Allen heads in here. I am using my impact. Just makes quick work of it. I can always use these, but this is just faster because I'm rich.
Right.
Yeah, it's because I'm rich. I'm kidding. I'm a poor bastard. All right, and just like that, there's your brake rear set.
Okay.
And then on here, usually you have, if it's a star bit on the inside, you can. It is very possible to use Allen heads. It's very possible. So we'll see which one will fit. I don't know if it will or not. So this one here, it will. Yeah. So I don't know if it's.
Get a mixture with the chrome and red, right?
Let's give it a whirl.
Cool.
It might work. It might not. Part of me doesn't want to risk it, but let's risk it for the biscuit and see what happens.
Risk it for the biscuit. Love it.
It's probably gonna give me some. Well, that broke free. That's good. Thanks. Appreciate that. Now, I don't know if that'll work. It's very possible it might not. All right. So it looks as though they're a different thread count. This one was larger than this one.
Okay.
Yeah, so we're gonna have to stick with red.
Okay, that's fine.
Well, damn. All right, that's fine. Well, at least that's how that comes apart. And keep all your bolts together. Don't ever lose them.
Right. They put them on.
Because this is still good. I mean, if somebody wants them, you can sell these off. I will save all the other bolts and stuff and keep them all together because they all go as one unit.
Right.
I'll put those back in this box when I'm done. All right, so rear brakes. Where we got? How do I know if the rear brakes or not? Let's see here. This one is going to go that side, so it's going to fly toward the rear. So this is going to be for your shifter. This goes on that side of the bike. We got a neighbor dude leaving. Let's tear into this. For all you Power Stroke boys, I'm sure you're familiar with that sound. All right. So this is for your brakes, as you can see. That is going to go. That's going to go up inside here. So I got to take this off the master brake. I had to do this very same thing with my SV650. I had to get rid of this connection and I used this instead. So I'll show you how to hook that up here in a second. This bracket has to go. You've only got one bolt holding it in anyway, which I'm really shocked.
Okay, so this whole thing is gonna fit.
This whole plate is gone. We're getting rid of it. All right, using my impact because I'm rich. I'm not really rich, guys. All right, and that's that. And then this should come with the hardware to replace it. I don't know how the threads are on these. We're about to find out. All right, now, as you can see, all these are they're just thrown into a bag, so you don't know what's what. I get it. I get it. But I'll tell you right now, all these have a purpose, so don't freak out. All right, move a lot of these around. I haven't done this in a while. All right, so that's the old one. This is B for the new. That's your brake. This is probably going to fit.
That bolt.
That's for your exhaust. This, I wonder if that's for that. Like I said, we're going to find out.
So what are the little red ones for, Scott? You want me asking? Oh, that's a...
One's for the brake, one's for the shifter.
Okay.
Well, B. There it is. Okay, well that works. That's good.
Does this need to be tightened, Scott?
Since this has grit, you can see the difference between the two. You'll notice when you go to install these, one of them is smooth, the other one's got grit.
So what is the grit for?
The grit
Brake?
is for grip, so you can guarantee that you got your brake, yeah. And this one will most likely be for your shifter, yeah.
Cool.
Because your foot will slide past it.
Right.
Makes it easy.
Is that paint or is that like a powder coating?
This is neither, actually. This is what they call anodization. Anodized metal. Yeah.
What is that? So that the metal is actually that color?
Actually, the metal it's aluminum, and it started like this.
So would it ever fade?
And what they do is they put these into like an acid bed, like a little acid. I think it's I don't think it's sulfuric acid, but it's an acid base.
Right.
And they put I can't remember how to do it, but they put electrodes to it.
Okay.
Positive and electric.
Right.
Well, they put negative like on the container, and then a positive to the actual part. And as they dip it into the liquid, the longer it's in that liquid and that power goes through it, the more it changes the color.
Gotcha.
So it'll go from silver to purple to blue to red, then to green. It'll change colors the longer you leave it in that solution.
Gotcha.
So yeah, this is anodized aluminum.
So will it ever fade?
This will never fade. The paint on this will fade long before this will ever.
Gotcha.
Because this is technically underneath all this.
Right.
It's still silver. It's just it's the surface plating.
Oh, gotcha. Like rhodium plating.
It's like chrome.
Gotcha.
Yeah. It's permanent. It won't come off.
Okay.
So anyway, this is folded the opposite direction for storage. So what we're going to do is we're going to flip these around. Again, I do apologize for a slightly lengthy video, but North Star, you asked for it. Ask and ye shall receive. Chad, next time, listen to me when I tell you don't take off when your shit's not right.
Yes, sir. Absolutely.
Sorry, dude, I gotta bust your chops.
You did tell me don't go. I was hard-headed, y'all. Still win anyway.
It's all right. We're all failures at some point. I tell my boss that. I'm surprised I'm not fired yet.
Right.
Now, it doesn't hurt to put a locking washer on here. I'm going to look in the package and see if there is one. Okay. I'll line these up. So what I'm doing is you're going to be repositioning everything. So it's not going to be a quick swap out. You got to take your time with it. So this is going to end up being right here.
Right.
So your brake master cylinder, it's going to go somewhere. You got to find out where it's going to mount,
right,
where its happy place is at.
Right.
I don't know if it's going to be here, which that's
you serious?
kind of. It looks like it lines up right there. I think so. It's very possible. We'll find out. On my other bike, I had to move the master cylinder, this from the inside to the outside. Yeah, so you got to get creative with it. You got to look and see what's the easiest way to mount these on there. Let me pull all of this off first. It's really difficult to scratch them, but you can scratch it. So let's try not to do that. All right, this mounting plate, I'm going to mount it like this to start with, and then we'll go from here. What you can do, I'll show you what it's like to change your riding position. So I'll stick this on here. I'm gonna put this on by hand at first. Just kind of put it in its place. Okay, so now we gotta figure out where this is gonna go. So we may have to move these around. It's very possible. So I'm gonna pause the film, and I'll tell you guys how I did it all when I take all this apart. All right, y'all. So what I've done is I went off camera and I kind of figured out where everything's gonna go. I made it work. But then I took everything back off so I can show you guys kind of like in fast forward of how I figured it out. The two foot pegs, the longer one, in my opinion, I think it's going to go over on the shifter side. If not, we can always switch it later. But that's basically what it is. The shorter one's going to go for the brake. So we're going to keep that over here. So fast forward on this. First thing you're going to want to do is you need to break this free. All right, this is going to be, it's like a jam nut. It's going to hold itself together. So what you need to do, was it a 10? A 10 is for the main shaft itself. That's going to be later. I got a 12 to break the top nut loose. I grabbed another one, which in my case was a 15, or you can grab whatever, vice grip, and pop these free. This one was kind of tight, but I just loosened it up to make it quicker for the video. You're going to remove this. This is not going to be used on the bike. All right. But what you want is the actual threads of the cylinder itself. And keep the jam nuts, because you're going to use those. All right. So this jam nut, run it all the way up to the top. All right. It helps if you loosen up or take your reservoir off of the frame. It just moves things along. All right. No, that's not it. Where'd it go? All right, off of the brakes. This is how it comes. What I ended up doing was there is a little horseshoe clip. You can probably see it here. It goes over this notch that's on the inside. I don't know if you can see. It goes over this, but I'll show you here in a second. What you want to do is you want to pop this free. Don't lose it like I did. Don't laugh at me. Don't lose it. Keep this. And it comes with 2 little washers. You're going to want to have 1 washer on the inside and then 1 washer on the outside, followed by the retainer clip to hold it in place. You'll pop the clip off. You're going to take this off. You want this free. And set those off to the side. You want to take this and run and thread it in by hand. Come on, it worked earlier. There you go. You're going to run this up. And this is what's going to hold everything in place. This is what your brakes are going to be. This is how they're going to be used. You can adjust the height of it. Go away. Did I just flick some tools over there?
No.
No? Okay.
No, sir.
Just checking. Run this jam nut on the bottom. Keep it in place. But this right here helps you adjust the height of where the actual pedal is going to be. And I'll show you guys that here in just a second. Get your, where'd it go? The mounting plate. I found it to be best. You'll see 3 across the top and then 5 down on the left side. I started the second one down from the left and keep it level. And when I did that, I also put in these plastic shims that come with the kit. I did this for this specific ride height. You can change it, but this just seems to work well for this bike. All right. Sorry I'm taking so long, guys. I'm trying to fly through this if I can. All right. I'm running these up by hand. I'm not using my impact yet. All right, now this is all going to be mounted just right, and this right here will determine where your brake master cylinder is going to be mounted. And if you look at it just right, it lines up perfectly. So there's that. In fact, hold on, let me move the camera so you guys can get a better view. Let's try this. Over my shoulder. Now that my tripod's in the way. All right, so this is what I'm after. I'm trying to line this up just right. So you'll take this bolt here, and I think it comes in from the back. Oh, that's right. I missed that step. I'm sorry. Don't tighten these down just yet. That's my mistake. Sorry. These may be complicated, but they're worth it. Actually, let's keep that so I don't lose the shims. Pull these away. this bolt coming from the back side, then put it back on. Otherwise, you won't have access because of the swing arm. Okay, yeah, that makes more sense. All right, get a little snug. All right, short. Take your stop lever. And run it over. Is it over or under? I can't remember which. That's under, like this. It's a bearing, so it's okay for both sides. This is a foot peg, but it is connected to a rear set, so you can move it and adjust it. Then you have, let's see how that's going to line up. That will fit inside there. That is too far down. So let's see what happens when I flip that over. I think that might be inverted. It might be upside down. Sometimes you might have to do that and flip things back and forth. Let's see if that works. No, that's gonna rub. It's not what I want. Okay. I guess I had it right the first time. Well, it worked the first time. That's fine. That's fine. All right, you're gonna get a short screw. Slide it through the front. And a contact point for the brakes. All right, and I'll tighten that down. Actually, you know what? I think that's backwards as well. You can either go one way or the other. I think no, I had it right. Okay. Sometimes you can actually run a screw inside here and then tighten it from the inside, but I guess this style does not require that. My neighbor has fallen asleep on me. Yeah?
Yes. It's cool breeze.
Brother, man, all you need is a hammock right now.
Man.
Come on, work with me here. Okay, see how that adjustment's a little bit too low? So what I'll do is I'll take this and I'll unthread it, which will bring it down, and it will give me more of a gap to work with. So you unthread this, and then unthread this. It'll lower it down. And now let's see what we have to work with. Some of these to hold it in place. Just hold it. Quit moving. Irritate me. All right, that's just to temporarily hold it. All right, so that actually, there you go. There's your brake. That's how it's supposed to work. And if you pay attention to it, this right here, this plunger is straight. I mean, it's semi-connected. I'm not done with it. But you want to tighten up the bottom and bring down the top. You'll tighten these together. That way they squish them, and it prevents that from walking anywhere. So I'll end up taking this back off, installing the washer on the back side, because that's how it's supposed to work. So at least now I know the height of where I'm going to be. You got to play with it, guys. You really do. But you'll have one washer on the back side, one washer on the front, and then that last clip, this thing I was telling you about, that's going to go inside that groove to lock it in place so you don't lose your brakes. Trust me, losing your brakes sucks. Ask me how I know.
That's actually just watched one of my close
Nah, really?
through this. You know, the guy that's on my Facebook page.
Oh, brother, no.
Yeah, the brakes went out. And the tree and killed himself.
Okay. Where's the other washer? No, not that order. Yeah. Washer. And then there's that groove. You know what? Let me show you guys what I'm looking at here. And what I mean by groove, this is what I'm talking about. Where'd it go? Look close. See a little groove right there? There you go. That's what I was talking about. It's looking pretty good, man. I'm not done, but it's looking good.
Yeah.
All right. This is why I need a motorcycle lift.
I thought you had one.
I'm telling you, like a table lift. Man, I want one of those so bad. I can use one. I work on bikes all the time. That's the only tool I don't have. Hang on, we'll be right back after this truck goes by. Sorry about that, ladies and gentlemen. The crack cocaine man decided to come by here with his drug truck, trying to sell kids drugs. So if there's any cops around watching my channel, I just want to let you guys know there's a ice cream man here. I mean, a drug salesman selling his product on my street. If you do me the solid, arrest his ass and confiscate his vehicle so I don't have to listen to that ridiculous tune every freaking day, that would be great. Just saying. All right, so we're almost done with the brake. I know there's more hardware, and that other hardware is for the other side. So your brakes are fixed while they're together. Relocate or remount the brake reservoir if I can find the threads for it. Gotta fit my fat fingers in there. Let's see if that works. All right, nice and snug. That's almost on there. Is that it? Yeah, that's it. Actually, let's go ahead and tighten up the rest. Now, I'm putting all this on here, and we might need to make some adjustments. It's possible. We don't know yet, but we will find out after I put it all together and I have Chad sit on the bike, and we'll see how it works for him. Okay. Nice and snug. It's on there. This one, I'm going to need to get special tools to grab this side and the back, so I'll get that in a second. I need a small... Ooh, I don't know if I can. Yeah, I can. I gotta get the old school style. Do it by hand. This, I will agree, this is irritating. I should have tightened this down before I put it all on. Is that it? Yeah. I'll probably just take this. You know what? I think I can do that. Oh, I gotta take this off. That sucks. In order to get this to tight, well, hold on. Oh, hey, what do you know? I got slack.
Yeah.
Did that just work out? I think it did. Where's that? Did it? Please tell me it did. Yes. And tighten. That's on there good. Yeah. What when a plan comes together. You just gotta play with it, guys. See how things work out. Okay, I'm gonna get a wrench and hold on to the back, which I think is that a 15? No. Is it a 12? I bet it's a 13. Just my luck, it'll be a 13. Yeah. Let's see what we got. Yep. Make sure that these pegs don't come off, especially when we're doing 120 miles an hour in Mexico. All right, and then we get the two little ones up on the top. A little bit of zip, zip, zip. We're done. Give me that. That's good. We just gotta tighten these, and this side will be completed, except for, you know, the spring, which we're gonna figure out how to mount. I don't know where that's gonna go. I'll find a place to put it. But whenever it comes to rear sets, you need to figure out how to reposition master cylinder, rear sets, find out where it's going to work for your feet. It's all going to be about adjustments. It's fully adjustable footing. That's all it is. I think I just solved our problem. I think I did. That's too much. Does that go on here? It's straight down. Well, I'll be. Set your brake. So there is a bracket for that. Okay. Well, I didn't know that. All right, so I got the brakes done. So now it's time to work on the shifter. Let's get after it. All right, so here's our original problem. This shifter fell off somewhere on 45. There's a linkage that belongs between these two. We are getting rid of that today. So because I'm rich, I'm going to take off everything. Which, wait, yeah. Dude, that was tough coming out. These things haven't been off in like ever. All right, so that was easy. And then this down here, I don't know what position the engine is in right now, but we'll get to that in a little bit. Just remember how this is all hooked up. It looks like it's coming up on the top. However, it all depends on how you go to shift your motorcycles. Now, the difference between, well, there are differences in types of shifters. You have your regular sport bike, and then you have your MotoGP style of shifting. MotoGP, they're not 1 down, 5 up. It's 1 up, 5 down. It's reversed. So make sure you don't set it up for that. Otherwise, you'll confuse yourself and accidentally money shift on the highway. Let's not do that. I'm a big fan of not doing that. So I just want to throw that out there for you guys. Pay attention to how it's being shifted. Let's see, got it right? No. A lot of times your shift order will be printed like it is here on the side of the casing. You'll see 1 down, N for neutral, then 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. This bike is a 6-speed. We don't want that garbage no more. Let's put on some better stuff. Things that actually work. Where is the shifter itself? It should be here. Actually, we probably might be able to use that one, the one I just took off, but that's fine. Because I do remember in one of my previous videos, I did show how to install these, and you had to take this off. So that's totally fine. I meant to do that. So first I'm going to start by this, start threading it in, because this is a piece that suddenly became missing on the interstate. I'll thread it all the way in, and then we can always adjust it accordingly later. Is that in or out? I don't remember what's what. Okay, that's all the way in. And we'll just adjust this as we go. All right. This one is going to go here. Looks like that's where we want it, but it's not where we want it because these don't match what it is on the other side. So let's go ahead and pop these off. Is it gonna match? No, it's not. This one should. And when you guys go to put these on here, make sure everything's in line. Nothing's in a bind. It's very easy to overlook that. That's why they gave you shims. They give you these things as shims. And you would stick these in between here, which is probably what I might do. Every rear set manufacturer is slightly different, so pay attention to changes. All right, in the back, I went one down, one over, just like that. All right, just one down, one over. I started there. So we're gonna do that with this. I also put a shim in there, so let's just, for spite, let me see if this is gonna need a shim. I put a shim in there, run the bolt. Aha. Now, just because this works doesn't mean it's necessary. I might not need it because the linkage will line up. I'm kind of hoping that this will line up the first time. Now I did this for positioning of how far back this is going to be and how far up it will be. The rest of the stuff you can adjust accordingly. So I had two big bolts, which is supposed to be these. Yes, and yes. That one's kind of rough. We'll make it work. Now, Chad, your ride posture might change a little bit, so we may make adjustments as we go. Just throwing that out there. I just bumped it, guys. That's all I did. All right, so this will be for your shifter, which is going to be this thingamadoohickey right here. I use that word a lot. Thingamadoohickey. Again, it also depends on how short your feet are. Where's your other peg? Peg's going to be here, which is going to be back here. I like these because they're fully adjustable. I really do. Some of my favorite sets. This red's really looking good, dude. Seriously.
Yeah.
I kind of like it better than the chrome, I ain't gonna lie.
Hot.
All right, you can have this thing set up here or all the way out here. It just depends on how big your feet are. Again, it's all about comfort, ride posture, and being able to have the best ground clearance possible. And you'll understand why they're as adjustable as they are here in just a moment. I've shown this in a previous video, like, actually some years back, of how to make these adjustments. Tighten that down, not too much, and there's your shifter. See how it just barely clears that bolt? That's exactly what we want. I want clearance. That's good. Now my focus is going to be the bottom of this handle, and that's where this thing comes into play. Wherever that other bolt is located, it's here somewhere. I may need to steal it from the other side. Figure it out here in a second. See, like on my other bike, I had it all set up like it was like this, and this will still work. However, I don't think I need it. So let's close this gap. It's a little bit too big of a gap. Okay, it's too wide. So you can narrow that down some. Make it small as I can. I think your other one was a lot smaller, brother. Now, in relation to where everything goes, see how that's just not going to work as is. So you need to move this other end. Come here. To way out here. And that's where you're going to have your posture and the setting. However, well, I mean, this is going to be pushed all the way in. It's possible you might need to bring this bar to the outside. Some bikes you can do that, but the only problem is when that bar comes down, it's hitting your adjuster and you can't downshift. So then you're screwed. And bring it on the inside after everything's all tightened down, which I could probably just bump that in. And once it's all adjusted and everything, that'll actually clear. So let me go ahead and get all this adjusted, and we should be good to go. Should be. Where is the other bolt? Give me a second. Let me find the other bolt for this, and we will proceed on. All right, so let's see if this adjustment is going to work. I need a longer bolt on that side. I had to put a shim over there just to get it away. This needs to come down. So as I rotate, you can see how the adjuster goes down. It looks like we're going to have space. The problem is that bolt's not long enough. So, gotta find one that is. Or I'll just use this one. Let's see how this works. Nope. Still not long enough. Okay, I got an idea. I have an idea. This is threaded. So I'm going to run it in from the other side. That way I won't need a nut to hold it on. All I need is the bolt. This, the shim, the bolt, shim, and then put it through the bottom. All right. It is windy out here. There we go. And I think we are in business. We just need to tighten that one down and I think we're all right. So you can see how you can make adjustments. So. All right, basically concluding the last of this, making some adjustments. I took my bolt in. I came in from the backside to catch the threads on the shifter because by going in the other direction, it wasn't going to work well, and the threads there weren't enough to grab onto. So I went the other direction, and now it works fine. Now all I got to do here, these are touching right now, but now they're not. All I had to do is just finish running this bolt in for the shift lever. I'm going to tighten this up. I've already tightened up these nuts here and the adjustment rod for this angle here. I've already sat on the bike, and so far this looks like a pretty decent angle for shifting. And I don't expect Chad to be doing heavy leans anytime soon. And if he is planning on doing heavy leans on like a track day or something, then yes, he can loosen up these nuts on both sides, turn this rod, and it'll bring the shifter a little bit further away from the ground, which will allow him to have more of a turn angle or a lean angle of the bike. That's why they say rear sets are better for track bikes, because you can adjust the height of your shifter depending on how far you want to lean the bike. So let's go ahead and put this back on, and basically we'll call it good. What do you think about that, bud?
Beautiful.
Yeah?
Beautiful work, man. Beautiful instructions, everything.
No instructions. These are your instructions.
You know, it used to be a movie back in the day called Greatest American Hero. I guess that tells my age, right?
Oh my God.
And the guy lost the instruction book. He was like a superhero, but he had to learn to fly. So, like, your instruction book, baby, gonna make it happen.
Maybe I should make instructions for this.
Yeah, man.
I'm going to buy a whole bunch of rear sets, make instructions, and resell it.
Right.
Rear sets platinum edition.
Right.
And there you have it, a complete installation of rear sets on this bike. I got the shifter all set up for Chad's height. I got the adjuster on here set up the way it's supposed to be so you can shift gears. I got to tighten this up, but make sure this is all nice and tight as well. And let's see what else. The shims over here for the bolts, which is going to be right in this area. I need to make sure that everything's all tight. But yeah, these shims here help with ride height, and they also make sure that everything is in the exact same position as it is on the opposite side. So definitely make sure everything is nice and tight, which it is. So I think that's a job well done. I think so. Definitely look forward to seeing you guys in the next video. Until next time, I love you. Goodbye.